Capricorns. Interesting. You've got an interesting mix here. You really do, because the crux of it all is manipulation, deceit, lies. So be careful. Be careful. All right? So I'm trying to not have these be all love readings and all not love readings. I'm just reading the cards. So I'll interject a little bit, right? Okay, so this could be stopping one thing so something new can start, because there's definitely an unhealthy dynamic here with this. It's causing, this is interesting because there's no communication or a lack thereof, or a lack of short distance travel. But I'm feeling, because of these cards, this is heavily communication related. There's multiple people here, because we have manipulation and deceit, we have new love, we have a lack of a beginning, we have justice working out in your favor, we have a lack of energy, we have a trustworthy situation. So I know that sounds crazy, but what I think is happening, Capricorns, is you've just been very social, and whether this be work or friends or love related, there are bad apples in every barrel, and you're seeing them now. Okay, there's also good apples in every barrel. So I think what you're doing is notifying or noticing that there are some sketchy characters in your periphery. You are canceling them out. No, they don't get a new beginning, right? And you're moving forward with people that can be trustworthy. There is a new love on the table for you. So where one thing can't begin until justice is served, this could be an indication that like you can't necessarily get into a new relationship until a divorce takes place, case something that it could be along those lines. But it could also just be that you're not really feeling the energy. Again, it's kind of like this lull time in summer, where plus we've got all these retrograde planets, plus we're in eclipse season. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but there's just a lot of shit that's been going on for everybody emotionally and psychologically and energetically this past month. And I think that's kind of trailing in for you. So there's like not necessarily this jumping off of the diving board into a new situation. You're definitely wanting to get justice served before, like, there's a lack of energy here and a lack of a new beginning, and it has to do with this scales needing to be rebalanced, right? There is new love on the table, but there's also a very sketchy character around you. So you could be watching and waiting to see what happens with this person before this person comes in, before you have the new beginning, before you put energy into something new. Very likely. So someone could be lining up, like you could have someone that you've been getting closer to, but you're not really wanting to share your intentions or share your interest until you know 100% that this is a dirtbag. All right, you see where I'm going with this? So there's fear of making a decision to have this new beginning, but you ultimately do make the decision, and then it allows you to freely move about the country, if you will. So then all of a sudden it's like, hey, freedom, you're happy, you feel lighthearted. You're not necessarily wanting to make moves in any one direction. There could be a fire sign that captures your heart, makes you happy, but you're not rushing in. Okay, this could be somebody you already know. That's why it's 1 of Cups and 10 of Cups. It could be somebody that's like from your past or somebody you've known a long time, and you're just, kind of waiting for this other thing to play out. Very, very likely. I think that's it. I think you're kind of wrapping something up, but giving him the final benefit of the doubt, which they ultimately screw up, right? Because they're a wretched human being. And then I think, 10 of Swords, right? And then there's confidence and strength and self-esteem. And then there's, you or them not rushing in to save the day because it's like officially over. That's when the new beginning can start. This is a pretty straightforward reading, Capricorns. I'm not even going to clarify that much. I think this is saying there's multiple people potential situation, but you're not heavily waiting on that. So let's just, worst case scenario, like let's say you're married and you're having fights with your husband and wife and you're like, they're a horrible person. And then there's like this nice person at work, but it's not like you're entertaining that person or thinking along those lines. They're just in your periphery. It's not like you're going to go try to cheat, or go on a date and get drinks while this person's stewing at home. All right. It's not sketchy like that. I think it's just like you've kind of been noticing that someone's, maybe more gentle or caring or nice and not manipulative or not crazy. And I think that you are just kind of taking note of that, not necessarily with them, but more of the characteristics. And then also taking note of the fact that this is what you're dealing with. So then it makes you question, okay, like I don't necessarily want a new beginning. I don't necessarily want this to end. I want to give the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, they keep showing me that they're this. They keep showing me they're not caring. They keep showing me that they're crazy. They keep showing me that they're vindictive or manipulative or deceitful. So the more they keep showing that to you, the more you realize you want these other types of characteristics in a partner or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or friend even, right? Or coworker. So it just makes you notice the difference. And I think this is saying that throughout the month, Capricorns, this difference, these two very dichotomous personality characteristics are going to become very apparent for you. And then ultimately you can choose. And you are going to choose freedom and happiness and optimism and emotional fulfillment. Excuse me. Excuse me. Which sounds very cliche. Anybody can spout those words off and it sounds powerful or it hits home with you. And I get that. But when you're actually in a situation that is energetically damaging and stunts any growth that two people can do together, or even stunts growth one person can do with themselves, it causes you to question what other characteristics would be better for you. And I think those are the questions that arise this month. And I think that this is saying that very clearly. This is the card of Gemini too. So we have a Queen of Swords here. So you very easily could be dealing with an air sign, and they're just not acting right, or they just keep showing you parts of themselves that you don't agree with. And not that they're wrong, but you don't want to have that energy around you. And then you have this type of energy that is optimistic and friendly and strategic and planning and excited and go for it, why not, let's try it type of energy. And taking care of herself or himself, but also like, hey, if it works for everybody, then like I'm all for it. And I think that brings you, even just that decision to notice the difference, I think will bring you emotional stability and happiness. This is an interesting reading because here we have you not moving towards one or the other. I think there is a notice of the difference this month. I have to write that down. I think there's a noticing of the difference. That's it. I think that's it. Because you're not talking about it. You're not moving towards it. But ultimately, at some point throughout the month, you do get some sort of freedom. But there is a lack of a beginning. So it's because something hasn't ended. Okay, I'm not even going to pull clarifiers, Capricorns. I'm sorry that this is so short. I think this is saying that this month you just need to analyze and see them for who they are. All of it. All of them. And see that and notice that type of person. Now, I don't mean the person. I'm not saying go out and have an affair or go out and cheat. No, I'm not saying you go for the person. I'm saying notice the difference and analyze the type of person you want to be around, and that you want to be around you and around your children, right? Whatever your situation is. There's a big difference. Okay, let's just pull some outcome and advice and guidance messages for you. Spirit and universe, what are the outcome and advice and guidance messages for Capricorns this month? Advice and guidance and outcome messages for Capricorns. Yeah, here you are, standing and analyzing, introspection, retrospection. And the choice is clear. The choice is made clear. That caring, kindness, optimistic is definitely better than vindictive, controlling, vengeful, angry person, right? It's like, yes, no. Anybody that was given those list of words here and this list of words here would say yes to this and no to that. It's obvious. That's why this is reversed. There's not even a lot of choice because it is so obvious of what the choice is. So this month for you is to see where you have been, see where you are, see where you want to go, and see the difference. You will have supporters along the way. You will have sidekicks. You will have things that appear and show you. It's like, in that show Lassie, how there's always something wrong or somebody's hurt or about to get hurt, and then Lassie goes and gets the owners or goes and gets people next door, and he's like, ruff, ruff, like, help, 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 we need help over here, we need help over here. That's what this is, okay? You're going to have sidekicks that show you this is different than this. Like leading the way, look out, positive, look towards your emotional happiness, look towards this stable, still water in this bay. Okay, this month is giving you a vantage point, a very strong, obvious vantage point. There will be sidekicks along the way. There will be signs and symbols along the way that will show this to you. Then you need to spend some time and really analyze, which I think the answer is pretty clear. But I think this being a Virgo, card of Virgo, and you being an earth sign, I think it's going to be very important to you and the comfort of your soul to be able to sit with this and answer to yourself so you don't feel guilty later. That's why running and cheating or entertaining a person is the wrong idea at this time. It's more about the characteristics that you want to be around and you want to be with. And then analyze that. And so he's sitting alone on a mountain with his wisdom, analyzing the situation and analyzing himself. So when he comes down off of the mountain, he can make appropriate, well-founded, honest decisions and actions full of integrity. All right, Capricorns, I love you. I hope my friend comes down off the mountain. It's 600 miles and is okay. I love you. All right, I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye, Cappies.